More than 50 USC janitors protested at Tommy Trojan. See why students joined the demonstration.
I'm live here at the Suspenders' second show of the year. Stick around and we'll hear from the heads of the troupe.
The Laugh Factory launched the careers of many of America's biggest comics. Tonight, we'll take you to this historic comedy club. See It Live starts now.
USC custodians protest, chanting "Si se puede" and demanding fair wages. The contractor's Aramark offered a 30-cent wage increase to these essential workers at USC. Good evening, I'm Vincent Demonte.
And I'm Olivia Tyler. The frustration is building, and janitors claim the university has not done enough. Students joined dozens of custodians today in solidarity for their fight against low living wages, a fight that's lasted for months by the Service Employees International Union. We spoke with student activists and workers about the urgency of the matter.
No, we don't need to make millionaires. No, we only need the necessary for life.
All the facilities that we use every single day are cleaned and prepared by them, and so I really believe that it's our duty as students to stand with them and fight with them.
They balance the budget on the backs of hardworking folks. It's an insult. It's a slap in the face. Janitors are worth more than 3%. But I have seen the power of workers being able to transform this industry and say enough.
The union says it has plans to keep protesting until they receive a dignified wage. Many janitors have been working for over 20 years and feel they deserve more than just a 30-cent increase. The union demands not only that Aramark increase wages, but also that USC negotiate with Aramark to push the initiative forward.
We have an update about a USC custodian fired this week. Francisca Trigueros was arrested last month on suspicion of theft. Faculty members rushed to her defense, and today the president of Service Employees and International Union spoke about her case.
I do believe we will represent her as we are through our collective bargain agreement, which gives her the right to representation, and we will continue to do that. Again, my concern here is the conduct of USC, and one, how she was denied due process. I think from the very beginning, an assumption of guilt was put on her. We stand by Francisca. We will continue to stand. We will represent her. And we hope that there will be a positive outcome to this case.
The president of SEIU also said that Trigueros is entitled to have the presumption of innocence until proven guilty, and the union has filed a formal complaint. Turning now to comedy, the craft, its benefits, and its impact on students. Our Allie Anthony is live at the Brain and Creativity Institute with more on USC's premier and oldest sketch comedy troupe.
That's right, Vincent. I'm live here at the BCI with USC's premier and oldest sketch comedy troupe, the Suspenders. And as you can tell, I cannot wipe the smile off of my face. The troupe is made up of 21 students who have continued the Suspenders name since its founding in 2014. The Suspenders have been hard at work these past few weeks preparing for their sketch show, Sketchy Ever After. Tonight, the troupe's hard work is put to the stage as its 15 actors will open the show sporting their blue Converse and wild suspenders. And we're live here with Ruby Marker and Destiny McCaster, the director and the assistant director of the show. First, Ruby, can you tell me a little bit about the show and what you did to prepare?
Yeah, of course. So this is a sketch show comprised of completely student-created work. We spend the whole semester working on it. We're really proud of it. It's a culmination of a lot of hours, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of really, really hard work. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And Destiny, please tell me what you're expecting from tonight's show, because I think we're all having high hopes for the crowd. We want to know who's showing up. How are you feeling? Are you feeling confident? Tell me all.
Yeah, there is zero confidence in me at this point in my life. But no, I'm super excited. I cannot wait. I can't wait to hear the laughs that we've been so desperately waiting for over the last 2 months during rehearsals. And I definitely think it's going to be a huge success. We're selling out shows already, so I can't wait to see smiling faces smiling back at us.
It's going to be so amazing. I know Vincent in the studio is really excited for the show tonight because Vincent is a suspender himself.
And he's late for his call.
And he's late for his call, but that's all right. So being here on stage with this group is definitely radiating some funny energy. You can see the Suspenders live in action tonight and over the course of the weekend. Tickets can be found on their Instagram page at Suspenders USC. Come on down to the BCI to see the group who will encourage their audience to suspend their disbelief. For Annenberg Media, I'm Allie Anthony.
Thanks, Allie. There is no shortage of laughter here at USC. From sketch groups to improv, Trojans are making their mark in the comedy world. Some students even have large followings on TikTok, where they post their stand-up and create original content. The students we spoke to all agreed that comedy has had a profound impact on their lives.
I enjoy spending my free time producing shows, having fun with my friends, making, fun moments for other people. So it's rewarding work, but it is, work for sure.
It's always great to have a crowd being interactive and laughing, but also it's challenging at the same time because you want to try new things. And I have terrible stage fright, but so going up on stage and having those people laugh is just something that's reassuring in other aspects of my life.
I feel like people are just more willing to listen to you when you have them laughing. You can actually get a serious message across.
It completely changes the way you see the world and the way that you think about your life in a positive way.
Fall registration is underway, and you might want to consider taking a comedy class. USC is offering a number of courses next semester that could add some fun to your schedule.
There's no hiding in comedy. If something's not funny, you can't pretend it is, especially with an audience. It keeps you to the truth.
I love seeing my students tap into their own comedic point of view and just really invest in it and not be afraid of what they have to say.
Professors say comedy classes are a great way to lighten your course load, and they can help develop students in their confidence.
I randomly took improv because it was a 2-unit. I'm also in a stand-up class this semester. I'm an intro to stand-up. I think the biggest thing I've learned is how to interact with others and find their comedy funny as well, but also be able to speak to them and have confidence to go up on that stage.
I've gained a lot of confidence from the experience. And I also think that I've been able to kind of nail down a structure of storytelling.
At SCA, you can learn how to create comedic characters as well as how to write a half-hour comedy series or pilot. SDA has classes on comedy performance and improv, and you can even try your hand at stand-up.
The Oscars can be the home of some crazy situations, but none as unexpected as the now notorious slap. Will Smith has since resigned from the Motion Picture Academy as he awaits additional disciplinary action from the Academy's Board of Governors. We spoke to USC students about how they feel about the incident and comedians taking jokes a bit too far.
Well, it's obviously pretty wild, surprising to say the very least.
We're in, it might be a little bit you might have to be a little bit more sensitive, especially with, diseases like alopecia or disability along those lines. So there technically is a line, but it just shifts, I think, every year with what people are more sensitive about.
While comedians tend to poke fun at audiences as well as be heckled, a professor of comedy ethics says comedians might need to be more selective about the jokes they tell.
A lot of the things that comedians were worried about was the line that actually got crossed at the Oscars was the line between the audience and the comedian. Because it's one thing to heckle a comedian and the sound waves to travel, to the comedian and you have a verbal back and forth. But Will Smith crossed a physical line, got up on stage, smacked Chris Rock, and then went back and sat down. Now I'm so offended by this that I have to get up on stage and hit this man. And that to me is the ethical moment of comedy. And I think Chappelle talks a lot about this in his Netflix shows where it's you're laughing now, but 10 minutes from now, you're going to be complaining about me on the internet. And that's not fair.
Cancel culture still plays a major role in what comedians do on stage and the effect it has on their audience.
One of Hollywood's most popular comedy clubs was founded in the 70s by a young Iranian immigrant. Since then, he has worked with Robin Williams, Dave Chappelle, Jerry Seinfeld, Kevin Hart, and many more. The original comedy club resides on Sunset Boulevard, but there are now 6 different locations in 2 other states. The founder credits his success to genuine relationships with comedians, believing in himself, and pure luck.
The time I opened the club, actually, Richard Pryor was my first comedian on the stage. People that come in here, in my opinion, they come in here because they have a lot of stress and problem. They need a laugh. Laughter is a healing. And I believe in that. And I'll call all of the comedians, I'll call them, they are doctor of the soul.
The Laugh Factory holds open mic nights starting at 5 p.m. on Tuesdays. Doors open at 4:30, and the first 10 people in line will get to perform. LA is a hot spot for comedy, but in comparison to men, few women actually appear on stage. Reporter Mariah Hill has more on how some comedians are pushing for better representation.
I was like, doesn't everyone lie on their driver's license? Wait, he goes, well, within reason, ma'am. I mean, listen, hey!
It takes a lot of guts to tell jokes on stage, and no one knows that better than Lisa Sunstedt. Sunstedt has been making people laugh for almost 3 decades. She knows how much hustle it takes, especially for a woman.
I was going to every club trying to get on stage, and there was no stage time for women. It's a very male-dominated field. And a lot of the men are not supportive. Most people are just working on their own sets. They're not there to support or listen to the other comics.
Sunstedt never got discouraged. She created Pretty Funny Women to help teach upcoming comedians how to build a community in comedy.
I only teach women. So it's a safe, supportive environment where women can totally be themselves, let their hair down, reveal anything they want, and not have to worry about being objectified or playing small.
I don't know what that feels like, but I've seen it in a movie. It looks something like this. What's happening here?
Jessica Winther is another longtime comedian in LA. She says that it took a lot of hard work and dedication to make it, and that's what keeps her going.
And go, I'm a woman, and I'm going to earn my spot because I am funny. And you're going to see how funny I am, even if I have to break my back and do flips. Well, a man may get in there not as funny. I've got this, and my soul will feel good.
Women in many industries tend to get the short end of the stick, but they continue to break barriers, even when making people laugh. For Annenberg Media, I'm Mariah Hill.
The comedy scene is already a difficult one to break into, but for women of color, the barriers are even higher. On tonight's segment of Fight for Change, we talked with a comedian about what she had to overcome to pursue her comic career.
Like, if I were going to fake a passport, would I really write my birthplace as Iran?
Tisha Hami was a successful stand-up comedian for 12 years. Today, she shares her experiences on social media as one of the very few Irani Muslim women to work in this field.
As a woman comedian, it's tough because the gatekeepers are usually men, usually white men. And I was lucky that there were a few who were really into what I was doing, saw it as a new voice on the scene. And there were others who were like, nope, not for us. But I found I had to make most of my career outside of the large mainstream clubs because they weren't that open to women, even, never mind women of color.
60% of the comedy field is made up of white comics. 16.6% are Hispanic, 13.5% are black. Despite women like Hami attempting to make a difference, women still only make up a quarter of the comedy community. Men dominate, making up close to 70%.
Laughter can have a positive effect on mental health. We spoke to the founder of Laughter for Change to learn more about how comedy has helped his students.
I had a guy in one of these early workshops at the VA say, you know, I've been in therapy for 25 years. Just tonight, playing this simple little game, I realized that it's okay to say yes to life.
Other laughter benefits include an improved mood, a boost to your immune system, and stress reduction.
Final season is just around the corner, and we can all probably use a good laugh. We talked to USC students about their favorite comedians and why they find them funny.
Allie is an Asian American comedian, and I actually watched one of her Netflix specials. Made a lot of jokes about like the immigrant experience and like immigrant parents, which I could relate to.
Tiffany Haddish, because she's funny.
Dave Chappelle, making pretty serious statements, but under the delivery of amazing comedic content. I don't think anyone does it quite like Chappelle.
Amy Poehler, because I feel like she doesn't have to be like overly offensive to still be really funny.
Khalif Al-Magarmit, he has this mixture of dark humor and also cultural humor that I find is very, very funny.
All right, Olivia, since we're on the topic of comedians, who's your favorite comedian?
You know, this may seem like the basic answer, but Kevin Hart's childish humor is just hilarious to me.
You know what? I think I'm going to have to agree with you. I've always been, looking up to Kevin Hart for years, and both of us being the same height. Like, it reminds me that, short people, small things come in, big things come in small packages. Yeah, there you go.
You know what? Great minds think alike.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching See It Live. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Olivia Tyler.
And I'm Vincent Demonte. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.